Hello everybody. I'm going to present my assignment on finance. I will be showing you what I've been answering those the figures and analysing the information that I need to do for the assignment. I also have to analyse the company to improve their financial performance, but that'll be the last part of the assignment. So let me start off with the reading to the assignment. I studies in business. I am studying finance as one of my modules. I have been asked to learn and regulatory framework with regard to finance and reporting, within which organizations operate and the types of finance statements. Organizations are required to produce analyze financial statements in the context of non-financial factors to include rational for a conclusion and evaluate a range of financial statements using the analysis drawn appropriate conclusions. So this is what I have to do for question number 1. I have to calculate the figures and ratios for Hardy Ltd, and all the workings must be clearly shown. I have to find the missing figures for the opening stock and the gross profit. The second part is where I have to find the breakdown of the current assets. The debtors figure is €42,000. Then the third part, I have to analyse and do my stock turnover. This is where I start off with the first point, the first part, where I have to find the missing figures. First section, I have to add the purchases and the opening stock. The missing opening stock was 66,000, which says right here. And then the answer is going to be my missing net purchases, and that'll be going into my trading profit. Then the next one is to find my cost of sales. With that, I'll also go into my trading profit. Is my net purchases minus and take away my closing stock, and I get 490,000. Then this will find my missing gross profit. Is my credit sales minus the cost of sales, and I'll get my answer of 250,000 to find my missing gross profit. And that's what I needed to do to get my 4 marks. I needed to put in the missing opening stock, my missing gross profit, and the missing net purchases. There are question marks on the sheet, and I have to find the missing numbers. And once I did, I put them into my trading profit to insert them into the full table. So my trading profit and loss account, the books of Hardy Ltd, year ended 31st December 2011. My credit sales is €740,000. They're less from the cost of sales, which I done that to find my gross profit. Here's my 66,000 of my missing opening stock. This is my purchases figure, which is 456,000. Here's my net purchases of 522,000. I minus that from the closing stock, which is 32,000, and my answer is going to be 490,000 for cost of sales. And then in this section, I have to minus and take away the credit sales to the cost of sales, and my answer will be 250,000. Then I have to take away the expenses which is interest paid, for 144,000. Once I done that, I got me for the year, which is €106,000. Now this is where it comes to my current balance sheet, where I have to put in the table and analyse the balance sheet for my current assets to break it down. So here's my current assets and my current liabilities. The €90,000 is the current assets, and the trade creditors, which is their current liabilities, is €75,000. And this is the fixed assets. And then I had to add that in for the trade creditors, 15,000, and my answer will be 510,000 for my net assets. Then it comes my 5% debentures, which is 140,000 euros. Then my ordinary shares, which is 264,000 euros. To add all this all together in figures, and once I got that, it was 510,000 euros, which I have to I should call this capital employed. Because this is going to be on my return on capital employed once I calculate the return on capital employed. Not for question one, no, it's only for the second question in my assignment, where I have to analyse the return on capital employed. This is where it comes to my breakdown of the current assets. I have to divide this from 75,000, I get 1.2, dotted by 1, and it comes my asset. Yeah, me example, my asset test is 90,000 minus my closing stock equals current liabilities. So my 90,000 take away 32,000 is 58,000 euros, and I divide the 58,000 euros for the trade creditors, which is my current liabilities, 75,000, and my answer will be 7.73, 2 dotted 1. My ideal position will be 7.73. Okay, that's my asset test done. Now this is where the part comes in, which is my breakdown of current assets. Where that comes to 90,000 euros, which is here in my current assets section. I have to find out how I got that figure in. To find the answer, I have to include the debtors, which is 42,000, include the closing stock, which is 32,000, and include my banks, which is 16,000 euros. Then I have to add these all together. Once I do add these all together, I get my answer, 90,000 euros. And that is my answer for current assets. That's what I need to do to get my 4 marks analysing my breakdown of the current assets. So very good. Now here comes the part of question 1, is my stock turnover. My stock turnover formula is my cost of sales. Divide that over by average stock. How do I find my average stock? First, I have to use the opening stock plus my closing stock. So my 66,000 euro figure plus my 32,000 euro figure, which is 98,000 euro figure. Then I divide these over 2, and my answer will be 49,000. You divide both figures over 2, and I get this answer, 49,000 euros. And that was my answer for stock turnover. Once I have that, my cost of sales, which is 490,000 euros, and my average stock is 49,000 euros. Once I divide that, my answer will be 10 times. And that's my stock turnover completed. I have to do now in my section B, I have to explain in detail the other factors apart from ratio analysis that can impact on the financial performance of a company, including the limitations of ratio analysis for when analysing performance and making investment choices. So my fourth factor I found is a dividend payout ratio. What is that? Is the dividend payout ratio is another useful metric that measures a company's growth, their financial stability, and returns paid to stockholders. The dividend payout ratio calculates the percentage of company earnings paid out to equity investors in the form of dividends. The higher the ratio value, the more reliable a company's earnings can sustain dividend payouts, and the more stable a company is considered to be. Retained earnings, which is the number of profits not paid out to shareholders and as dividends, shows what portion of profits a company is reinvesting and expanding its business. Now I'm going to the assessing stock price ability for shareholders. The financial statements in a company can be used to assess the company's stock price and profitability for shareholders. The earnings per share, which stands for EPS, is an indicator of return on investment, showing a company's per share profitability. The price earnings, which is PE ratio, uses a stock's EPS earning per share compared to its present share price for evaluation purposes. The price to book, which stands for PB ratio, is considered a foundational value metric for investors, as it reveals the market's valuation of the company in relation to intrinsic value. And my third factor I have is called the average ratio. When it comes to the limitation of ratio analysis, the only limitation that it is if you use average ratios instead of the ratios that are high performers of firms in the industry. This average ratio includes renting or leasing real estate and managing and selling or buying real estate, either for oneself or on others. The wholesale average ratio has an average current ratio of 1.48. This average ratio includes trade, transportation, and utilities. The retail average ratio has an average current ratio of 1.47. And the average valuation ratio is some of the most commonly quoted and easily used ratios for analyzing the attractiveness of an investment in a company. Don't mind these figures, they didn't matter, they were just my draft. Anyway, I'll move on to question number 2. There's question 1 I completed so far. It is about Waldron Ltd. This time it's only 2 figures that were missing. It was the purchases and my net purchases. But still, I have to analyse and add figures, the same as the first question, to find answers, to analyse the trading profit for Waldron Ltd. So, my missing purchases was €230,000. And my opening stock was €36,000. And then when it comes to my net purchases, the missing figure was the answer of €266,000. And then my cost of sales, I have to minus €266,000 from €24,000, which is closing stock. And my answer will be €242,000. And then comes the gross profit. I minus the credit sales from the cost of sales, so my €420,000 figure minus the €242,000 figure, and the gross profit answer is €178. So I'm going to now stop right here and then continue my assignments presenting to all of you on the information on my next video. So thank you all for watching this. I hope you enjoyed this so far, and I'll see you all later and see you all very soon. Thank you all for watching. Adios.